First of all, thank you all for coming to hear our perspective on this very important matter. For so long, Muslim Americans have been engaging public officials and media and other civic leaders on issues of importance regarding Muslims and Islam in America. And we have to say the one stumbling block to this day remains the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. That still is used as a litmus test in terms of including Muslims, and Muslim Americans especially, in discourse on policy. And that is still a stumbling block in terms of something that really has not been discussed in the policy arena. There really is no policy discussion on that issue. And we are remaining steadfast in trying to bring up that issue in a constructive way and trying to reach out to our Jewish colleagues to say that let us agree to disagree on this issue, but remain engaged with each other. And there have been many programs about, for example, New Ground, that brings young Muslim and Jews together to deal with these kinds of issues. So, having said that, again, thank you for coming, because it's very important for us to talk to you, even though we know that not everything we say is going to be broadcast to the public, but that your editors and you as journalists, at least getting our perspective on this issue is important. We'll start with the official statement regarding the mayor's decision to meet with the Israeli Consul General and other Jewish leaders in his support for Israel on the latest crisis in Gaza. Our community, which numbers 600,000 strong in Southern California, and about half of them, so 300,000, live in the city of Los Angeles, the Muslim American community, is disappointed that the mayor of Los Angeles has not reached out to us to discuss the issues involving the Gaza crisis. First of all, the mayor of Los Angeles is a local official, and we feel he should not be embroiled in international conflict. And if he does want to engage in international issues, he should meet with all sides and discuss the very important details and the perspectives and the recommendations from all sides before making a decision on such an important international issue. If anything, the mayor of Los Angeles should bring both sides together and talk about how we can prevent the conflict and the violence emanating from the Middle East, prevent that from spilling over onto our streets in America, prevent the heated rhetoric from intensifying relations and making it more tense for people to engage with each other here in the United States. We feel that that is the role of the mayor of Los Angeles. The same thing happened 2 years ago in the Lebanon crisis. The mayor and some other public officials had gone to support Israel's invasion of Lebanon. And we had to issue a statement to tell the mayor that that was wrong. And that there should be, if anything, all of us as Americans should call for three things: an immediate cessation of hostilities. The rockets from Hamas are wrong. The invasion of Gaza by an Israeli military that is one of the most powerful in the world against a defenseless population that results in mass suffering and killing of civilians among the Palestinian people is wrong. And we should come out and be very clear about that point. Number two, we should allow for humanitarian aid to go into Gaza without any impediment from the Israeli military and the Israeli government. And number three, we should allow foreign journalists to go into Gaza and report to us, give us objective reports of actually what is taking place, what is the level of the humanitarian crisis, and the suffering of the civilian population. Those are our points on that issue. And so we are looking to the mayor for leadership on this issue by meeting with Muslim American leaders in the near future. I know that many Muslim organizations had called the mayor's office today. We had called representatives of the mayor's office. We had sent messages to the mayor's office requesting a meeting with him on this issue. And number two, We hope to meet with Jewish leaders also in the near future to discuss the repercussions of this conflict and remaining engaged and promoting civil discourse on this issue. With that, I think I covered the points. And Adina Lekovich, our communications director, is going to read you a statement from the Shura Council, which represents 55 mosques in the Southern California area.
Good afternoon. My name is Adina Lekovich, E-D-I-N-A Lekovic, and I am the communications director for MPAC. Our offices and mosques around Southern California, there are more than 70 mosques in Southern California, have been inundated with calls from community members who are feeling deep pain around the Gaza crisis. And so the Shura Council, which is the umbrella body that represents all of those mosques, shared with us the following statement. The Islamic Shura Council is disappointed and feels betrayed by the mayor's one-eyed perspective on the tragedy of colossal proportions in Gaza. While we grant the right for the mayor to have his opinion, we also believe he is obligated to recognize all perspectives to any situation. The mayor failed Los Angelinos in this regard, and we hold him responsible. The Islamic Shura Council calls upon the elected leadership of Los Angeles to serve the city of Los Angeles, to always listen to all Los Angelinos, and to inoculate themselves from the infectious malaise of selective hearing and exclusive speaking. The Shura Council also calls upon the mayor to meet with the Muslim and Arab leadership of Southern California and to make a statement of his understanding about the tragedy in Gaza. And that is signed by Shakeel Syed, S-H-A-K-E-E-L-S-Y-E-D, who is the executive director of the Islamic Shura Council of Southern California. With that, Salam is available for questions.
Salam, when did you find out that the mayor was going to speak out on this? And when you found out, did you attempt to contact him?
Yes, absolutely. I found out this morning, early this morning, with a few calls with the mayor's staff. And immediately I had asked that they relay a message and convey a message to the mayor that we need to meet on this issue immediately, and that it would be damaging for him just to take sides on this issue. He should be the mayor of all Los Angelinos, not just one group on this issue.
And they responded how?
They said that they would convey the message and get back to me, and we have other meetings with city officials on this issue dealing with other city agencies, but the request to meet with the mayor right now, as of now, I have not received a response yet.
So all is not lost necessarily, it's just that you might be getting caught up in the bureaucracy of it all.
We don't know, and we'll have to wait and see to find out what the final answer is going to be from the mayor. Knowing his staff and knowing him, I hope for a positive response, but we'll have to wait and see.
You talked about wanting to meet with Jewish leaders. Has the Shura Council or MPAC, made any formal requests to do so?
There are meetings with Jewish organizations already, and there will be meetings.
Since the beginning of...
Even before.
Okay.
And we'll continue to meet, and I'm sure that this is going to be a topic. Some of the meetings I can't disclose. It's not really for public disclosure at this time.
The mayor and the council members that gave statements today, they basically, the thought is that they visited this area that keeps getting rocket launches, and that because of that, they feel like they have to support Israel. They say they're defending themselves. Your response to that?
Number one, they should have visited the Palestinian side as well. If you were going to go to the region, then we should visit all sides. We as Americans, especially when we as Americans are financing the Israeli military with our tax dollars. We are responsible for the suffering of the Palestinian people. Number two, it's not enough to take sides on this issue and to blame the Palestinians on this issue. It's like blaming a rape victim. It's very dehumanizing, it's wrong, and it's reinforcing the sense of oppression of the Palestinian people.
What's next?
What is next for us, we have a Gaza benefit on January 24th. We'd like to invite the public to come and support our call for immediate relief for the Palestinian people in Gaza, and removing the blockade of Gaza, and to support the civilians of Gaza. And at the same time, we'd like to bring in public officials, artists in Hollywood with us to call for that benefit for Gaza.
Have any local politicians on any scale have either reached out to speak with you or announced their support of your position?
No, and we really don't expect them to, because, as I said before, the situation in terms of Palestine, Israel, vis-a-vis American foreign policy making, there is no discourse. Either people are too afraid, or they just don't want to talk about it right now. And they want to continue the status quo. We believe that continuing the status quo is bad for Palestine, is bad for Israel, is bad for America. In 1982, Israel invaded Lebanon. Hezbollah was formed as a result, in terms of resisting Israel's occupation of southern Lebanon. Then, later on, Hamas was formed, again in response to the occupation of Gaza. So every time military force is used, then more extremist groups are produced as a result of the military occupation of that particular region. And we've seen in Iraq the same thing happen. We take down a dictator, but more extremism unleashes as a result of our inability to deal with the issue politically, socially, and economically, because we resort to military means only. So we would like to have a discussion with policymakers on that issue and discuss means of strengthening moderate voices as opposed to undermining moderate voices, which is happening in Gaza right now.
One thing, just more of a curiosity factor. When you said you reached out to the mayor during the Lebanon crisis, how did the mayor end up treating your request?
We ended up meeting, and there was a lot of clarification on that issue. And since then, we have built a very healthy relationship with him and his office. We would like to remain open and engaging with the mayor and his staff, and we believe that we will be in that position after this conflict is over. However, obviously right now the situation is tense, and we'll have to see how the mayor responds to our request.